It must have been about 2 o'clock in the night, right? About 2 o'clock in the night. I'm flying, obviously, and I'm in a club in town, and my phone was on silent as it is, so you could just feel it buzz, 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 buzz in your pocket, right? And I was thinking, who's that? I was thinking, I can't be asked answering that. I didn't even want to look, do you know what I mean? Because I thought it's going to be air or it's going to be whatever. So I was just out having a laugh and that. And then when it's finished and all that, we were getting off and I thought, it's party, what's happening here? So I looked at my phone and I've got like 20 missed calls off my mate. And I'm thinking, wow, what does he want? Weird, so I phoned him. He's like, what's happening? I said, everything all right? He's like, yeah, Sam. I said, where are you? He says, I'm in town. He's like, lads, I'm in town. I've been trying to get hold of you all night. I was like, So I knew I'd missed out there because he's a belter. He would have had a scream, do you know what I mean? So I was thinking, no way, she's answered that. So I said, where are you? So we went and met up, and he's with a couple of his mates and with a couple of my mates, but we all know each other, so it's all just proper sounds. So these are saying, we're going such and such. I'm like, I'm not going there. It's like, what? I can't be asked, because where he wants to go, there was like, not people I'm having beef with, but people where it could just go off for the slightest thing due to previous, but what's being squashed. And he's like, lad, everything's sound. I'm like, lad, it's sound with them, but it's not really sound with me. I've only squashed it and like, got on with it for the sake of everyone, like, because everyone's intertangled and we're all mates and that, do you know what I mean? So they're like, yeah. And the other mate was going to be, lad, I knew that, you know. I said, I know, lad. I said, I've told you loads of times. He said to me, so the lad who's been phoning me, he said, why don't you just come with me then? I said, where are you going? He said, this gaff. And I'm like, what gaff? He's like, lad, I'll tell you on the way. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's going, lad, it sounds. Listen to what he did, right? So we jumped in the taxi, see you later to everyone, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, do you want a stripe? He's like, go ahead. So the taxi driver, we give the taxi driver a stripe as well. He's just sound with us, we're just flying. And we get to this gaff. And as we get to this gaff, I'm like, lads, what are we doing? I've never seen it, never heard anyone talking about it, never, just this house in the middle of like, just a street, do you know what I mean? And like, there's no lights on and all that. And I'm like, lad, what is this place? What are you doing? I said, lad, everyone's a kid. What? He's going, lad, it's not sound, trust me. And he's going, where's the key? I'm like, the key? He's going, yeah. I'm like, what for? He's like, I'll tell you in a minute. And I'm like, what are you on about, lad? We've been in the taxi for like half an hour. You're like, what's going on? He's been like, when I've been hitting him with questions, he's been like half diverting me a little bit, you know what I mean? But where I'm not onto him diverting me, but he has been diverting me. You'll find out why now. So I'm flying, right? And like, when you're flying and you're blathering, it's like the end of the night. You're just like, you've got like not blurred vision, but you're not really paying attention to things, like, you know what I mean? You're paying attention to people in case something happens, but you're not paying attention to like things that don't matter, do you know what I mean? Gets out the taxi, pays taxi driver, he says to me, I come this way. I'm like, what way, lads? He's going, come round here. I'm like, lads, round where? I'm like, he's going, lad, just hurry up. And he's going, be quiet. I'm like, be quiet. He's like, yes. I'm thinking, what's he on about? So he takes me to one of them black metal gates, you know, like them jigger gates, and whips a key out. And I'm like, why have you got a key to this jigger gate? He's like, lad, it's a skeleton key for all Liverpool. And I'm like, okay, so why are we here? He said, lad, just come in. So I said, all right. So he goes in this jigger gate, walks down his ear, walks through the back, goes through this back door, no lights on the house and all that, right? Just like, what are we doing here, lad? And I'm like, lad, is it going off? He's like, no. I'm like, lad, tell me. He's like, shut up, your tits. That's all they told us as if. So we go in this house right now. When you walk in the house, you're meant to put the light on first and all that. And he goes, we just walk through there and go in that room. So I'm like, all right. So I goes in and sits in this room. And like, there's little lights on, but I'm not really paying attention to it. I'm just sitting on this couch, right? I'm not really on it. Like, get at this. So he comes in, he goes, what's happening? Turns the light on, right? And I swear to God, there's like 5 tents in one room, the room I'm in. But the lights were off, and you know, it was you know, where you turn the lights on, you turn them off a certain time. So what he's done is he needed to feed them or turn the lights on or something like that, and just roped me into it. So I said to him, lad, I said, it's not even worth it. I said, there's only like whatever he went to me. Yeah, get on this, lad. I said, what? Mate, took me, every single room was just rammed. And I'm like, lad, are you mad? I said, what the fuck's happening here? I said, lad, are you mad? I said, why am I just sitting here? And he goes to me, lad, it's sound. I'm like, lad, it's not sound. It's not sound, lad. You could have put me on it, do you know what I mean? No, what I mean is, though, I know the odds are just like ridiculous that anything's happened, but imagine some arms there and I'm in that Ken, I'm getting slammed for that. And there was just that much weed, you get in jail for it. You know, it's only whatever, just say you were there chopping or bunny hopping, whatever, just say you were bunny hopping. and you only get like a tree or something, but it's still a tree. It's out of nowhere off a night out, do you know what I mean? She's going to me, oh lad, you need to chill. I'm like, lad, you need to chill. And he said, how long have you had this for? He's like, lad, about a year. So now it's a stale Kent, the Kent is stale. So there's more risk of getting nicked because it's stale, do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? So I'm saying to him, lad, you are crazy, you bringing me like that. He went, oh, shut up, lad. He said, only be a minute. I'm like, well, you'll even feed them all. I'm like, lad, that's not a minute. That's not a minute. So he's like, yeah. So he passes me his limo. He's like, I've got my own limo. He's like, I know that, but it'll just be better for you if you sit here sniffing that limo, because then, you know what I mean, you won't be as arsed. So I said, any bevies? He went, lad, there is. He went, there's 4 bevies here from when last time we were here. So he passes me buds. I'm like, oh, lad, I don't even drink buds. So I'm just sitting there on this couch, just drinking buds, having a stripe and that. He's doing what he's doing and all that. And I was thinking, you know what? So I said to him, how much have you made out of this gaff? And it was just remarkable, do you know what I mean? Because the way they had it set up and that, it was, you couldn't smell the weed because it was all proper done, but they'd been smoking weed in there earlier that day, so it was like the stale, lingering, like you can smell the difference between crop weed and someone been smoking weed, do you know what I mean? But when I smelled weed, there was only someone been smoking weed, so that's why I went like looking around all the way, you know, just off me barnet, just thinking, like, what's he on about? So he comes down there, been about an hour and a half, whatever. So it's about 4 o'clock in the morning, so I'm like, yeah, I phoned a taxi. He said, come out then. So we phoned a taxi, and as we're on the way back in the taxi, we're going to mine now. He's like, we'll get to yours, lad. I said, come on in. So as we're going back, I said to him, what? I said, lad, how many of these have you got? He said, lad, we've got loads. I said, oh, are you working with such and such? He's like, yeah. I said, and I was like, it makes sense. So he's like, they're everywhere. And I said, well, what about if I want to do one with you, lad? He's like, lad, I'll jump on with you. I said, all right. He went, but all the equipment's out, so we'd have to buy everything new. So I'm like, go on, son. I said, how much? He's like, yeah, £2.5 each, 5 grand, yeah. And we will start fresh. I said, all right, son. I said, you got somewhere to do it? He's like, we'll get somewhere. You know, we need like black passport, we need black ID and all that. He's like, but you're the man for that. I'm like, yeah. I said, I can sort that, lads, whatever. So a couple of days goes past, and I'll be honest with you, I've gone to bed, I've totally forgot all about it. Do you know what I mean? I've just forgot about it. You wake up and you're just like, a new day, forgot about all that. No shit's going on, everyone's happy. So he phones me up, he goes to me, lad, I've nailed it. I've got a belt of gaff there, and we don't even need like no ID, it's already sorted. So I'm like, where? He's like, lad, in mine. I'm like, in your house? He's like, yeah. But where he used to live was a big old houses, belters, do you know what I mean? With like all lofts and basements and all that. So I'm thinking, bit risky though, do you know what I mean? But if you're willing to do that, then sounds. So he says, all right. So he says to me, I'll give you the dough. So he's come round, see me, give him the dough. He's gone and done what he's doing, got everything we need and all that. And then he said to me, lad, do you want to be a part of it all? I said, lad, I don't want nothing to do with it. I said, the less I can have to do with it, the better for me. Do you know what I mean? He's like, go on, son. He said, I'll just set it all up, lad. And then you can just come and see it when it's done and all that. I'm like, go on, son. So I trust him 100%. He's Bruce Lee. He doesn't need to do nothing like that. He's got dough, do you know what I mean? So when you're with people who aren't rats and they've got their own dough and all that, and they don't want nothing from you except for your friendship, it's a different relationship, do you know what I mean? Some people want you because they can use you, or they can get off you, or you'll stand on for them, do you know what I mean? I'm not saying everyone does that, but some people do that. But there's people who don't, and they're in your close circle. So he's in my close circle, yeah. So about a week goes past, right? I haven't even bothered him, I haven't cased him, nothing like that. And he phones me up and he goes, what are you up to? I said, I was going to go out tonight. He said, Sam, he said, well, before you go out, do you want to come and see this with me? And I'm like, well, I'll just see it later when I come home. He's like, all right, Sam. He said, well, I'm staying in anyway, because like, obviously that's there, so it gets mans all the time, do you know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, Sam, like, no problem. So it goes out and all that, so again, you know, usual, I'm off my bar and all that, so I've legged everyone, because I'm not going to bring no one there, obviously, it doesn't matter who they are, it's his house, and it's rammed. Goes to his house, right, listen to this, and he goes to me, opens the door, he's like, what's happening, lad? And I'm like, lad, I can't even smell a thing. He's like, lad, you won't even be able to see a thing. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, go and look around the house, I bet you can't find it. I'm like, lad, what are you on about? He goes, get on it, lad. So I've walked in, there's nothing, and I mean nothing at all. And I'm just like, lad. So I've gone in every room, gone in the basements. As it goes up in the lofts, there's nothing there, so I've popped my head up, and I'm like, well, lad, what is it? And he goes to me, lad, we've smashed it. And what? He went, I was up in the loft looking for how big it was, and I noticed that there's a like where the loft separates, it's bricks. Loads of the bricks were missing. I went, yeah. He said, well, you know, there are people who live next door. I'm like, yeah. He said, I looked on the loft hatch, and there's all dust on it, dead thick. So that means they haven't been in the loft for years. And I'm like, yeah. He says, lad, I've put it all in there. I'm like, shut up. He said, lad, I have. I said, lad, out. He went, yeah, get on this. What he done was, he got a plug put on the wall, right, on the inside of the wall, where there's like upstairs. He's just nailed it, he's proper nailed it. So there's a plug in the wall with a lead and a few of the leads going through it. There's like 2-3 PowerPoints what he's done. Like, he's just sat there and proper created it. So next door's loft is rams. And I mean, these are big houses, and I mean rams. And he's going to me, lad, I know what time to get up now. He said, they're in bed by 10 o'clock and that. So what we have to do is he just has it proper nailed. I was laughing my head off, just like, what are you on about, lad? And he goes to me, what? He said, lad, it's genius. I'm like, lad, it is genius, yeah. So it was the whole setup was in next door's loft, where a partition with bricks, where you could just put the bricks back in. You couldn't see nothing. And I was looking for it, do you know what I mean? So you couldn't see nothing. So then get on this. So then we've got about 2 out of it, right? So on the third one, this is where it gets proper funny. So as the third one's ready, it's ready in about a week, and I'm thinking, you know what, I've made Brewsties off that. Only threw £2.5 in, do you know what I mean? And I'm like, I've had my dough back fucking 30 folds, something mad like that, just flying. So I said to me, let's expand, lads. And he goes to me, what? I said, let's get more. And he's going to me, see, that's your problem, lad. He said, you're always like taking it once. I'm like, lad, I said, you've got about 15 of them around the city. He's like, but that's what I do, you don't do that. I'm like, well I do now, mate. And he said to me, but like, to be fair, I'm not really, I'm not into, that's not what I do. That's I don't do that. So I wouldn't do that just on my own, do you know what I mean? I wouldn't be asked for it all, do you know what I mean? And he said to me, go on, sound. I said, all right, sound. So we ended up getting another gaff, right, black ID and all that. And the gaff we got right was a massive ken, like 4-bedroom ken, but it was on a main road in one of the most bang-onest places on earth, right, in the pool, proper bang-on, right, plod drive past it 50 times a day, it's that bang-on, but it's that bang-on, it's not bang-on, do you know what I mean? That bang-on, it's just not bang-on. So, set that up on that, and now what I did was, I'll use my brain with this, obviously, like everyone does. You take the dough you've got off that, you take your initial dough back, and then you invest the rest of it, or whatever part of it, into more, and it just goes and goes and goes. So I have like separate things where, all right, that now, I'm up off that major, so I can afford to use loads of the dough and not really be asked about it, do you know what I mean? Whatever. You can take some losses on that then, whatever happens, if the ken goes, or, you know what I mean, or it comes bang on, you can take a loss on it. Listen to this, right? So I said to him, let's take it a bit extreme. So we filled, and I mean filled, this new gaff, like just rammed it like to the top. You couldn't even get any more in it. 14 weeks, something like that, 15 weeks, whatever, it's gone past. And it's all been span. So it's time to start again, yeah. So as we start this one again, when I say I was nothing to do with it. I was giving him the dough to pay people who he knows, you know, like going on their wages and like whatever, because he had his own little setup going. It was just, they were already doing that. So I was just like, yeah, well, I'll pay them, which is only fair, because I'm not even there, do you know what I mean? So he's like, go on, sound. So he's benefiting off me paying all their wages, where he'd be paying some of them himself, do you know what I mean? So he's like, lads, sound, they do it anyway. So on this one, the second one in the new ken, I'm just like, lad, we need to, like, you know what I mean? And he's like, lad, it's sound. So the next thing, what happens, gets a phone call, lad, you're not going to believe it, what, the ken's gone. I mean, what do you mean the ken's gone? He said, lad, someone started to break into the ken, like a little fucking baghead burglar, not knowing there was anything there. And it's alarmed the plods. So when the plods have gone, they've got on it all. And I'm like, you are messing. He went, no. So I said, yeah, I'll fly down there now. So as I'm flying past in the car, there's just plot everywhere. And I'm like, oh my God, gone, right? So I'm thinking, I haven't got no dabs or nothing like that. You know what I mean? I haven't even been in anything to go in there. I've had gloves on, so it's definitely come back to me. There's nothing in there. There's nothing, no ID, nothing. There's just nothing to tie me to anything. And there's nothing to tie him to anything, right? Because the ID we give in to get the gaff was a black one. And the kid who got us the gaff was in on it, yeah? So sounds, he's just going to be like, yeah, well, they give us this passport and whatever. The kid doesn't even exist, whatever. Or if he does exist, then I don't know who he is. So I'm like, I don't believe this. So then with the one in the ken, I'm saying to him, we're sitting there talking, right, and we're in his. And I'm saying to him, do you reckon it's related, lad? Do you reckon they know? Do you reckon it's like a firm or whatever? He's saying to me, I don't think so, lad, no. He said, but I have been seeing like this like weird activity outside, man. And I'm like what? He's like vans just sitting there and all that. And I'm thinking, don't say that, lad. I said, don't say that. So I was meant to be going out this night as well. This is a funny night. It's funny, but it's just funny, to be fair. So before I go on with the story, right, I'm just going to let you know, there's nothing to do with plot or nothing like that. this was just my mind, right? My mind can sometimes be a crazy thing, do you know what I mean? So he said to me, well, yeah, lad, here's what you do. Stay in mind tonight. The fifth or sixth one we've got going in it's now becoming like where we're starting to think things like, you know, it's getting sat off or whatever. So he said to me, stay, and it was due to come down. It was coming down like in about 2 days. So it's ready. So if it gets tougher, then it's ready. Do you know what I mean? You can blend it. You've lost everything. So I said to him, sounds. So we said, all right, after this one, we'll swerve it for a bit. He's like, all right, sounds. So I was meant to go out, didn't go out. So I'm sitting in his, there's me and him. And he's like a proper pothead. He's not really, he does have a stripe in that, but only when he's going out, or really like, say like probably no more than 10 times a year. Yeah, but I'm like out all the time. Sometimes I'm out Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, even Mondays, whatever. Just out, just live for no kind of person, do you know what I mean? So he's saying, yeah, so funny. I'm like, lad, I'm not going out. Like, what are you on about? I'm like, lad, I'm not going out. Something's come up, blah, 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 blah. Like, sounds. So the night's been cancelled, so I'm just like, oh, now what? Yeah. I felt like, you know, like when you're a kid and all your mates going out and you haven't got no dough, or your ma's not letting you go out when you're young or something like that, and you've got that like, that's what I was like. So I was just like, So it was just like, I don't know why, that's just what I'm like, do you know what I mean? If I want to do something, I want to do it, and I don't like it if I can't do it. It's just how I am, it's weird. Sometimes for the good, sometimes for the bad. So I'm sitting there and I'm all like, so I'm just thinking, and this is what we're doing, just sitting here all like, yeah, he's got the telly on, and I'm just like, lad, I feel myself. So, Stripe's getting on, and I said to him, what have we got here? So he says, what do you mean? I said, like, if anyone bears this gaff now, what have we got here? He's like, this. I'm like, okay, so what have I got? Your sound, what about me? And he says, I said, lad, I'm going to the shop. So flies to Tasker's in Anfield, walks in, and I'm like, here's that. Fella's just looking at me, and I'm like, am I just allowed to buy these, lads? He's like, yeah, but I've got a cap on, and I've got like, not a belly on, but I've got a neck warmer on, so it's past my nose, so you can't really see me, so my head's like half down, but it was cold anyway, so it's sort of half blended, and then I've got a hoodie on with the hood over the cap, so you can't see me, you can't see my face, you know what I mean? And he's like, sounds, so I've bought all kinds, shetties, just blades, stabs, just everything. We goes back to the Ken, and I put it where I am, so I said, yeah, I'm in the spare room. He said, go ahead, sounds. So I've just set up in the spare room, I've got all of them, I've got all that, you know, tunes are booming, whatever, I'm on the phone, just chatting shit, everything like that. But I've just got loads of lemon, so I had like an half log of lemon. So I'm drilling it, and as it's like, he's like talking to me, telling me, his mate, this one's went, everyone, and I'm thinking, in my head, I've started planting the seed where I'm like, no way we're getting watched here by firms or by plods or something like that. So I thought, fuck. So it's got to about 2 o'clock in the morning. He's like, lad, I'm going to bed. I said, go on, sound. Now where the room was he was sleeping in, it was across the hall from where I was, but the kitchen, you have to go down the stairs and then go to the kitchen, do you know what I mean? So about 2 o'clock in the morning, my head's gone, and I'm thinking I can hear shit. Just every noise meant something, you know, like, where it doesn't, but it does. My mind was just making, like, reasons for what these noises were. And I was thinking, no way, so I thought, I want to see what that is. So it goes out the room, and when it goes out the room, there's like a little cupboard, what the lecky box and all that was in, but you can sit on it. It's like a cupboard what you can sit on, do you know what I mean? So my arms to the teeth, I've got a machete, I've got a blade, I'm sitting on this thing, it's pitch black as well. Next thing, he opens the door. So I thought, shit, if he gets on me now, he's just going to be like, you are messing you. So he walks past me about 3 steps, stops, and says to me, lad, is that you sitting there? I'm like, yeah. He says, are you armed to the teeth? I went, yeah. He went, sounds. Walks downstairs, gets a drink, comes upstairs, goes back in his room, shuts the door, and then he's there. He puts the chest of drawers in front of the door. I'm like, well, that's what he's doing. He's going to me, lad, you are not coming in here at all tonight. You are fucking messing you, lad. He's like, lad, you are not coming in here at all tonight. I went, all right, go on, sounds. But to just cut a long story short and all that, it's getting a bit long now. What happens is, nothing happens, it was all sounds. So then what we done was we cleared it all up, we got rid of it all, and then that's it. I just jumped out of it because it's like, it's one of them things where you can make dough on it, but it just takes too long.